All right, so we start this episode in the past of Kansas City where they like overthrew Fedra, right? And it's crazy. They all loud, throwing a party, chanting, shooting off flares and shit. And you know what? If I was Henry and Sam, I would have ran away during that shit too. Like, we in the middle of a zombie apocalypse and y'all making all this noise. I can't fuck with y'all. So anyway, now Kathleen's taking over and she's like rounding up all the people that oppose them, talking about she gonna give them a fair trial, but she really lying. She about to kill them all. And I really like the actress's delivery here. You know, she's really not like a tough person that took over with force. They said that, you know, she was good at planning and organizing and stuff, so that's why everyone kind of like rallied around her. And it really shows when she's talking to people. Like, she literally sounds like a first grade school teacher scolding her students or something.
Did it feel good? Betraying your neighbors to Fedra? Watching us get thrown in prison?
But she really wants to find Henry for reasons we'll find out later in the episode, and she's willing to do anything to get it. None of these people seem to know where Henry is, so she walks out. She tells her man to go ahead and kill him, and one of the guys heard that, and he was like, whoa, wait up. I seen Henry. He was down near that abandoned Popeyes with his black ass. It's about 2 blocks away. Go get him. And honestly, I can't blame that dude for snitching, right? If he was talking about killing me, I'm gonna let you know too. Then we see Henry and Sam, and they meet up with the doctor that died in the last episode. They don't have a lot of food, so they can't stay there too long. And Henry gives Sam some crayons to kind of keep him occupied. So Sam starts drawing them as superheroes taking out Fedra soldiers, and it's all cute and shit. And what is that? I know what that is, but I know what that is. Anyway, weird drawing aside, I really think these two actors did a great job, especially Sam, the boy, played by Kevon Woodard. I looked him up and stumbled across his Instagram page, and it actually seems that he's deaf, which is dope. Well, like, not dope that he's deaf, obviously, but you know, that they casted an actual, you get what I'm saying. I think the fact that he is deaf and they have to communicate through sign language in the show, even though it wasn't in the game, brings a whole new element to having to survive and to their character that it was honestly very well done. Not a change I was expecting, but one I was impressed with. They realize that the doctor's not coming back. He most likely got caught, so they decide to leave. And this is where they first see Joel and Ellie. Turns out that they were in the building across the street during a little shootout that Joel had with the people when he first arrived. They like what they see, and they need some help escaping, so they decide to track them, and then that's when they meet up with them at the end of the last episode. And I like the subtle humor they've been injecting into some of these scenes, like I'll let this next one play.
We didn't hurt you, so you don't hurt us. Right?
That's right.
It's a weird fucking tone, man.
That's just the way he sounds. He has an asshole voice. Joe, tell him he's okay.
Everything is great.
Dude.
I thought that was great, and it definitely got a laugh out of me. I also want to point out my boy Sam's stance right here. Like, he's posted up, like he's ready to do a little something. And personally, I like to see young actors doing well. I know it's hard to get, kids without too much acting training to really portray their character. But for me, Kevon was the standout actor of this episode. Most of the scenes he was in had me doing a little smile to myself, seeing a little brother do well. But anyway, after this little altercation, it's all good. They share some food, get to know each other. Then the next day, they talk about the plan to escape. So they're looking over the town, and Henry confesses that he's never killed anyone before. When he held them up, it was just a ruse. And he basically tells them, there's guards around all these streets, but there's tunnels under this place that we can use to escape. They don't know for sure that there's no zombies in there, but he has a good idea that there isn't. Joel and Ellie end up agreeing because they don't really have any other plan to go by right now. And I just wanted to point out this little moment from Sam.
They're saying they're going to help us escape.
And I just love how emotive he is. I feel like when he did that little head nod, I can feel and hear him saying all right. I really think this little kid's going places, and I'm excited to see what other projects that he gets into in the future. So next they all pull up to the sewer. And in the game, the sewer section and the section with Sam and Henry are not the same. They don't coincide. But I like how they made the change to do that here, especially with time constraints and trying to fit everything in. Instead of just completely overlooking the sewer section, they incorporated it. Very good choice in my opinion, especially someone who's a fan of the games and kind of wants to see as many things adapted as possible. I like it. Here in the sewer though, Henry tells Joel that he's the reason that And Kathleen's brother got killed. He sold Kathleen's brother out so he can get some medicine from Fedra for Sam, who has leukemia, showing that he's not innocent and he himself doesn't feel like he's a good guy and he understands why he's being hunted. At the same time, Ellie and Sam are playing around with a soccer ball and reading some comics and stuff, and this is the part where they really bond. So then, at the cover of night, they leave the tunnels. They pull up in this neighborhood at dark, and they're almost scot-free until a sniper starts shooting at them. And I love the small touch here, how Henry tries to take Sam and run off, because in the game, there's a point where Sam and Henry leave Ellie and Joel in a bad situation, although they do come around later to save them. But I just love the way that they're incorporating not necessarily super important parts of the story, but good character moments, and they're making it their own into this new world for television. Anyway, they're stuck there, they're pinned down, and Joel sneaks around all the way to the back of the house, goes upstairs, and finds this old man in the sniper's nest and is forced to kill him. And as soon as he takes the sniper, we see that Kathleen and her goons are right on their ass. Joel ends up sniping one of the drivers of the truck in the front, and it veers off to the side and crashes into this house, making a huge explosion. But our three main characters still have nowhere to go, and Kathleen's like, yo, Henry, come on out, bruh, I know you here. So in order to save his little brother, he gets up and he's like, yo, I'm good, just let my little brother go. Kathleen's like, nah, bruh, we ain't doing that. But before she can shoot him or do anything, the truck that ran into the house like kind of sinks into the ground, and then we hear the zombies, and then they spring up. Now I feel like this whole next sequence was pretty dope, man. We didn't get a lot of action in this show so far, especially action like involving the zombies, so this was very refreshing. The bloater reveal was cool, but since we had already like kind of seen that in one of the promotional trailers, it didn't hit as hard as it could have, in my opinion. I think they kind of should have saved that, but that's just me. Also, R.I.P. Kathleen's bodyguard. He tries to save her. The bloater takes him and rips his head off, which is a nice little detail because in the game, one of the death animations for the bloater is him trying to rip your face off. They kind of black out before your head actually gets ripped off. But good job again, showrunners. I'm over here talking like they gonna actually watch my damn video. Then Ellie ends up getting pinned in this car, right? And there's clickers everywhere. And one gets in, it's this little girl, and she's got all the makeup on. And the way she's moving around too, that shit made me itch. I don't know about y'all, but that shit was creepy as hell. But she escapes and makes her way over to where Sam and Henry are, thanks to Joel's overwatch. He's covering her. Any zombie that tries to get to her, he takes them out. Then Ellie stabs the zombies that are attacking Sam and Henry, gets them out of there, and then they all meet up and they're about to escape, and then Kathleen pulls up. But right before Kathleen can exact her revenge, that little creepy gymnast clicker jumps on her and starts giving her the skibbity paps all over her face.
Skibbity pap 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 pap. Skibbity pap 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 pap. Go somewhere, Vargas. I can skibbity pap pap.
So after that whole altercation, our main cast pulls up in this motel, right? And they're getting ready for bed, and something seems off about little Sam. Ellie's trying to like cheer him up or whatever, and he reveals that he got bit. Now, again, being a big fan of the games, I know what's about to happen, but they always change things up in a way that like gets to me, right? So when Ellie's like, yo, my blood is the cure, and cuts herself and tries to rub her blood into his wound, I legit stood up from the couch and was just like, oh my God, I hope this works, because I didn't want to see what was gonna happen again. But that shit didn't work, all right? And the next morning, Sam is a zombie already, just like in the game. And he attacks Ellie just like in the game. And Henry shoots him just like in the game. And again, knowing what's gonna happen, like usually like, you know, I'm tough, I'm hard, you know what I'm saying? I'm a real one. This thing being like live action, it just hit so much harder for me. Like I was legit getting sad. I almost shed a real nigga tear. And then we all know what happens. Henry takes himself out. R.I.P. to two of the best side characters in the entire game / show. Next, we see Joel and Ellie burying our two new friends. And this is really like the first time we kind of see Ellie in like a somber mood. I feel like, you know, she's been upbeat and kind of talking the whole time. Now she's pretty serious and she's ready to go. Overall, though, amazing episode. I thought the Bill and Frank episode was well done with the remake. But this episode takes the cake by far. They keep getting better and better. I don't know what they're gonna do next, but the show has me really excited. I just haven't heard anything. I'm still not sure what they're planning on doing, but I don't think they can adapt everything in the 4 episodes that they have left. They said this is only gonna be a 9-episode season. So I'm thinking we're only gonna get to a certain part, and then we're gonna have to wait to the next season to actually finish the events of the first game. I think next week's episode will really like kind of set the tone for that, and I should be able to tell for sure if that's happening or not. But anyway, the show is amazing. It's doing great. I'm extremely happy with it. Let me know how you guys are feeling about it in the comments, and I'll see y'all next episode.